Hey guys, Other Boy Reactions here. Alright, so we're hopping back into Doctor Who. Okay, so the last time we left off with, they went into the past and met Madame de Pompadour, Renette. It wasn't my favorite episode, but the things I did like were, you know, the connection between the Doctor and Renette. I like that, you know, they had this bond, and we got to see him read her mind, which we've never seen before, I don't believe. So that was new and different, and she read his mind as well. And, you know, he finally met someone who understood just how lonely his life is. I mean, we've all heard that his life was lonely, but this person actually felt his loneliness and saw his loneliness and saw his childhood. So I feel like he really felt understood by someone, and then he loses her. So his life really is tragic and lonely. I have no idea where they're gonna go in this one. That's the thing about the show. You have no idea where the show is gonna take you. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so this is Doctor Who, Season 2, Episode 5, The Rise of the Cyberman.
I shall have to inform.
Oh, you're gonna die, sir.
And how will you do that
When
from beyond the grave?
Oh, you idiot.
Quite understand.
Oh, God. Put it together.
Kill him.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
What are you doing that for?
Because you told me to.
Oh, God.
When was that?
Long time ago.
About half an hour ago.
Oh, you're so mean.
You can let go now.
The time vortex is gone. That's impossible, it's just gone.
This is not your world.
But if the date's the same, it's parallel, right?
Oh.
Am I right? Like a parallel Earth where they got Zeppelins. Am I right? I'm right, aren't I?
Alternate universe?
Must be.
He's still alive.
Her dad? Oh, my
Parallel
God.
world, and my dad's still alive.
Oh, my God. Does that mean that
Don't look at
she's
it,
gonna
Rose. Don't
find
even think about it. This is
alternate
not your
universe
world.
too?
Birthday present for Mr. Lumic.
What are they?
Latest model, diamond studded. Pick up signals from Venezuela.
Why would you want to pick up signals from Venezuela?
Well, I don't know, but now I can find out. For God's sake, where is she? Rose! Come on!
What?
There you are, my darling.
They don't even have a kid!
Give me security arrangements for tonight. Passwords, encryption services.
Is that a light? I think that's a light. That's all we need. We've got power.
You would have figured out that the TARDIS does whatever it wants.
They're taking you
Who
away.
are you?
What for?
Experiments.
They're rich. They got a house and cars and everything they want. They haven't got me.
Stay where you are, both of you. Rose, come back here. Mickey, come back here right now.
Just want to see him.
Yeah, I got things to see and all.
Like what?
Well, you don't know anything about me, do you? It's always about Rose. I'm just a spare part.
Right. Thank you, Vicky.
Sorry,
Wow.
I've got to go. He's brought up by his gran.
Oh my God.
She was such a great woman. But then she died. She tripped and fell down the stairs. We just take him for granted.
Yes, you do.
Everyone shares the same information.
So everyone's the same.
Daily download
Everyone thinks
published
the
by
same.
Cybermen Industries.
Just because you all receive the same joke doesn't mean everyone's gonna think it's funny.
Is that you?
It's me. I came home.
Ricky?
It's Mickey.
I know my own grandson's name. It's Ricky.
Ricky.
Now come here.
The same name that the Doctor calls him.
Okay, I'm Ricky.
Oh.
Of course I am Ricky. That's me.
The number one. Top of the list. London's most wanted.
Okay, cool. Say that again?
The most precious thing on this earth is the human brain, and yet we allow it to die. But now, Cybermen Industries has perfected a way of sustaining the brain indefinitely within a cradle of copyrighted chemicals.
You're a fine businessman, John, but you're not God.
Right. Oh, you need to touch that
Let's cover up that noise.
What am I doing there?
Can't even be a guest.
We could have been anyone.
Right!
Got us in, didn't it?
You're in charge of the psychic paper. We could have been guests.
Yeah.
Celebrities.
Thank
Sir
you.
Dr. Dame Rose. You end up serving. Didn't have a list back home.
You want to know what's going on? Work in the kitchen.
Well, that's true.
Lucy says that is the President of Great Britain.
Well, there's a president, not a prime minister.
Seems so.
Well, maybe Lucy's just a bit thick.
All these different worlds, not one of them gets it right.
Rose! It's my little girl! Does Mummy come?
And your name is Mickey, not Ricky. Mickey, you're talking to London's most wanted.
Oh my god.
But target number 1 is Lumic, and we are going to bring him down.
I moved out last month. But we're going to keep it quiet, you know, it's bad for business.
Oh, they're still fucking fighting. Oh my god. Well, see, you know it's not you, Rose.
Why am I telling you all this? We haven't met before, have we? I don't know, you just seem sort of...
What? I was talking to him earlier. He's a nice man. He's worth a second chance.
Are you commenting on my marriage?
No, I was just...
Who the hell do you think you are? You're staff.
Fuck.
You're nothing but staff. You're just the serving girl, for God's sake.
I've seen them before.
Oh, fuck that helmet that he saw.
Cybermen.
Oh my god. They look cool.
They're people.
They were. Till they had all their humanity taken away.
Oh.
That's a living brain jammed inside a cybernetic body with a heart of steel. All emotions removed.
Why no emotions?
Because it hurts.
We are Human Point 2. Every citizen will receive a free upgrade. You will become like us.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to decline.
I'm so sorry for what's been done to you. But listen to me.
Oh, he's gonna die.
This experiment ends tonight.
Upgrading is compulsory.
What happens if I refuse?
Then you are not compatible. You will be deleted.
Oh my god! My god! He's like, who the hell are you?
Yeah, no offense, sweetheart, but who the hell are you? Rose!
Oh my god.
That's not me. That's like the other one.
You will be deleted.
Oh my god!
Oh, we're surrendering! Listen to me, we surrender!
You are inferior. Man will be reborn as Cyberman, but you will perish under maximum deletion.
Oh my god! How are you gonna get out of this?
Delete.
Fuck! That was good. That was like, who wrote this? This is like one of the best episodes of the season. Maybe of the series. I don't know. Am I exaggerating? But because it had like everything that I wanted. It had emotion. I mean, I was about to call him Ricky. Mickey got to see his grandmother, who, you know, in his reality has passed away. He gets a second chance with her. And in this world, you know, he's actually making a difference. His alternate self, Ricky, is actually someone who's a fighter, someone who doesn't just let things happen to him, someone who takes chances, takes risks. I'm so glad we finally got a Mickey episode. I mean, and I love that the show is self-aware enough to address that Mickey is just overlooked constantly by the doctor, by Rose, by everyone. Like, he's just always an afterthought. No one cares about him. And he said it himself. I'm glad, you know, that they know that. Rose gets to see her dad again, and he looks so good. She gets to see her parents together again, but they're still fighting. To me, that would have given me a little bit of comfort to know that, because I'm sure she always wondered if, you know, if they fought because they had her. She probably always thought, if they hadn't had her, maybe they would have been happier. But now she sees, in this reality, they didn't have a child, and they're still unhappy. They're still fighting. They're still bickering. So that should give her, you know, solace that it wasn't her. But I mean, you know, it's never nice to see your parents fight, no matter what the reason is, because she loves both of them in different ways. And fuck, and then the way Jackie, alternate Jackie, you know, spoke to her, because she doesn't even recognize her. She doesn't have a daughter. That must have been hard. So it had, you know, all the emotional stuff, and then it had action and suspense and horror. Those Cybermen are terrifying. And I love how the show constantly comments on technology. I love that so much because, like, technology excites us, you know, and how advanced it's getting, but at the same time, it's scary because things are progressing and advancing so quickly. The little earpiece things that they have, the little Bluetooth things, you know, is very similar to our phones. Like, we're always on our phones, we're always linked in, we're always connected. And I can see something like that being invented someday. And, you know, no one really questions technology. Like, we all say, like, oh yeah, technology is getting too advanced, but then no one's doing anything about it. We still buy the latest iPhones, the latest everything, and they distract us with all these new gimmicks like Face ID and fingerprint ID and all these bells and whistles that kind of trick us into compliance. And eventually, like to us it seems like this seems like horror, but I bet you future generations won't even question. I mean, the Cybermen is a bit much, but I mean, the little earpiece things, I bet you future generations won't even question that because they'll just be like, oh, you know, that's just the natural next step that technology is supposed to take. And, you know, they'll be so advanced by then. You know, like 50, 100 years from now, I can totally see that. Maybe even sooner. I mean, the way that they're progressing. It's another way to control us. It's another way to make us all think the same. I mean, they all received the same joke and they all laughed. I mean, if that happened, why even do that? I mean, we can all receive the same joke, but not everyone's gonna think it's funny. Because we're not all the same. But in this world, they've all been made the same because of technology. And in a way, that's happening, not to this degree, but in a way, you know, we've all been conditioned to like certain things and to think, you know, like with commercials and stuff like that, like, and magazines, the people that they put on there, they're promoting a certain type of person, and we're made to think that this is what's beautiful, this is what a man should look like, this is what a woman should look like, this is what you should buy, this is, you know, these are the clothes that you're supposed to have, that you're supposed to want. So I mean, we all are being conditioned all the time, especially if no one ever questions anything and if no one ever thinks for themselves. The Lumet guy, his ideal perfect human race is to strip away all of our emotions. I mean, because the doctor said, because emotions hurt. Yeah, they do, but like we also have good emotions. We can feel joy and happiness and, you know, so, and excitement. Like, you're taking all of that away too. Like, you can't, that's the thing about, you know, like, no one wants to feel the bad emotions, but I mean, that's what makes us human. And people think that they can do that with in this case it's technology, but in our world, you know, people think they can do that with drugs. You know, they don't want to feel the bad emotions, but if you try and numb yourself to the bad emotions, you numb yourself to all the good stuff too. So, and you become like this, like in our world, you become like people who, you know, are on who use drugs to numb themselves. They just become like zombies. But in this world, they're robots. So I mean, it's basically the same thing. And the villain in this episode is in pain. That's why he's doing all this, because he's in physical pain. He's in emotional pain because he's not the man that he once was. He's deteriorating for whatever reason. And so because he's in pain, everyone else has to suffer. And that's always the case with villains. Villains, it's like, you know what, if you're in pain, like, just, you know, deal with yourself, hurt yourself. Like, I hate when people have to take it out on other people. But of course, when you're in that much pain, you don't see it as doing the wrong thing. You see it as relief. That's his only way of getting relief, is if he can control things. Because he doesn't have control over his body. He doesn't have control over his own life. So he needs to control other people. That's always what villains do. That's, hello, Trump. You know, Boris. I mean, like, these men just, for whatever reason, who knows how they were raised, but I mean, they're obviously unhappy, angry men. So just like this guy, Lumix. So I mean, that's what happens when people are in pain. They just need to control everyone because they can't control their own circumstances. And that's just, it's awful. It's sad. And no good comes of it. Everyone suffers. I just thought it was a really good episode and had so many different themes and messages going on that resonate with me and resonate with, you know, they're so relevant. It's what's happening today, to a lesser extent, but and that is where fantasy and sci-fi are useful tools, because they can really, by exaggerating circumstances, you can really, you know, pinpoint and hit home what is going on in reality. And I love that so much. When it's done well, fantasy and sci-fi can be so useful. Like I don't just want entertainment. I want my shows to comment on things that are happening in reality. But this episode really did it well. And you know, because we know these characters and care about these characters so much, made it even more special. You know, all the emotional stuff that was happening with Rose and her parents, and then, you know, we got to learn more about Mickey. I mean, the doctor didn't really have anything to do in this episode. It was more about the companions, and I like that too, because I mean, I find them more interesting than the doctor. I feel like, because he's such a mystery, and he's like not willing to like say anything about his past, and it's kind of like annoying, because, and plus he's not human, so his responses are not human, like, and so it's hard for me to relate to him. I do like him better than Christopher Eccleston in a lot of ways. I feel like David Tennant, I feel like he's like grateful for the opportunity to play this character, whereas Christopher Eccleston, I always feel like he kind of, I just got this sense that like he thought it was beneath him, but I mean that could just be in my head. I don't know, but David Tennant just seems to have more fun, which is probably why he did this role longer than, you know, I mean there's a lot of reasons why, because Christopher Eccleston didn't continue, I heard, but David Tennant just feels like the Doctor. But yeah, I mean, this is a two-parter, so I'm probably gonna watch the next episode pretty soon. I really enjoyed this episode, and I hope you did too. And if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like full reactions, please check out my Patreon by going to the link down below. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.
Can't tell you what that means to me.